These atheists, they say, this is the world of science and technology. We don't believe in such gods. Prove to us scientifically the existence of God, then we will believe in it. The first thing I would like to ask a question to these atheists or any educated man who does not believe in a God and who believes only in science, that can you tell me the first person who will be able to tell you the mechanism of an unknown object? There is an object, an unknown object, an unknown machine which no one in the world has ever seen before or heard of before. Now this machine is brought in front of that atheist or that educated man who believes in science, that who will be the first person who will be able to tell you the mechanism of this unknown object? I've asked this question to hundreds of atheists. After a little bit of thinking, he replies, maybe the creator, the person who has created that object. Some may say the inventor. Some may say the manufacturer. Some may say the producer. Whatever they will say, believe me, it will be somewhat similar. Either the creator, the maker, the manufacturer, the inventor. I have asked this question to hundreds of atheists, and all have given me somewhat similar answer. Whatever answer they give me, I accept it. I only keep it in my mind. It will be somewhat similar. The next person may be the person who the creator has told, or maybe someone does a research. But the first person will be the creator, the manufacturer, the inventor, or the producer. I ask that atheist who believes in science, how did this world come into existence? How did our universe come into existence? So he tells me that initially the full universe was one mass, the primary nebula. Then there was a big bang, the secondary separation, which gave rise to galaxies, and then further stars and the planet in which we live. I ask him, where did you get all these fairy tales from? He says, no, these aren't fairy tales, these are established facts. We have got proof for this. I say, where did you learn? When did you learn all these fairy tales? He says, no, these are scientific facts. They aren't fairy tales. We learned it yesterday. Yesterday in science means 50 years back, maybe 100 years back, yesterday. And in 1973, a couple of scientists got the Nobel Prize for describing the Big Bang theory. So I tell him, okay, you say it is a fact, I accept it. But what do you have to say about what is mentioned in this Quran 1400 years ago? It mentions in Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter number 21, verse number 30. Awalam yara allazina kafaru. Do not the unbelievers see anna samawati wal arda kanat ratkan fafataknahuma, that the heavens and the earth were joined together and we clove them asunder. My Quran, which was revealed 1400 years ago, there are enough historical proofs to show it was a book which was present 1400 years ago. How come my Quran says it speaks about a Big Bang theory? It speaks in a nutshell. You say it was discovered yesterday, 50 years back, 100 years back. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran? So the atheist tells me, maybe somebody guessed. I don't challenge him. I don't challenge him. I proceed. The world we live in, what is the shape? He tells me, previously people thought the world was flat and people were afraid to venture too far lest they would fall over. But now we have enough scientific proof to show it is not flat, it is spherical. When did you learn? Yesterday, 100 years back, 200 years back in science. And if he has a good knowledge, he replies that the first person who proved that the world was spherical was Sir Francis Drake. in 1597. I pose him a question. Analyze what does the Quran say. In Surah Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 29, it says that it is Allah who merges the night into day and merges the day into night. Merging means a slow and a gradual change. The night slowly and gradually changes to day, and the day slowly and gradually changes to night. This phenomena, it's not possible if the world is flat. It's only possible if the world is spherical. A similar message is given in Surah Al-Zumar, chapter number 39, verse number 5, that the night overlaps the day and the day overlaps the night. The Arabic word used is kawara, as though you coil a turban round the head, coiling. This coiling, this overlapping of the night over the day and the day over the night is only possible if the earth is spherical. It's not possible if the earth is flat. You tell me, it was discovered recently. Can you account for who could have mentioned this in the Quran 1400 years ago? Maybe. It's a good guess. It's a wild guess. It's a wild guess. But it was a guess. I don't challenge him. I proceed. The light that we have, the light that we obtain from the moon, where does it come from? So he will tell me that previously we thought that the light of the moon was its own light. But today, after science has advanced, we have come to know that the light of the moon is not its own light, but it's a reflected light of the sun. I will ask him a question. That it is mentioned in this Quran, in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter number 25, verse number 61. Blessed is he who has created the constellations and placed therein a lamp and a moon which has reflected light. The Arabic word for moon is qamar, and the light described there is munir, which is borrowed light, or nur, which is a reflection of light. The Quran mentions that the light of the moon is reflected light. You say you discovered it today. How come it's mentioned in the Quran 1400 years ago? He will pause for a time. He won't reply immediately, and then may say, maybe it's a fluke. I don't argue with him. Just for the sake of the discussion, I say, okay, you say it's a guess. I don't argue with you. Let's proceed. I ask him that when I was in school, I passed my 10th standard in 1982. I had learned that the sun was stationary. The sun revolved, but it was stationary. So he asked me, does this what the Quran says? I said, no, this is what I learned in school. Is it true? He said, no. Today science is advanced. Recently we came to know that the sun, besides revolving, it also rotates. It is not stationary. It rotates about its axis. And if you have an equipment, you can have the image of the sun on a tabletop. The sun has got black spots, and it takes about 25 days for these black spots to complete one rotation. In short, the sun takes about 25 days to complete one rotation. Does the Quran say it is stationary? He starts laughing. Ha ha. I said, no. My Quran says in Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter number 21, verse number 33. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ كُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. It is Allah who has created the night and the day, the sun and the moon, each one rotating about its own axis. It revolves and rotates, each one rotating about its own axis. You tell me, who could have mentioned this scientific fact in the Quran, which was discovered recently? He's silent.